Hello viewers and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we'll be upgrading my Vevor 3018 Pro CNC some more with linear rails for the X-axis. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, then stick around and let's get started. When I originally planned my CNC build, I always wanted to have linear rails on the X-axis since I'd be running a heavier Z-axis with a larger and heavier spindle on it. The delivery for the rails took a long time, which is why we're only installing them now. But better late than never, this actually gave me the possibility to do testing with the original X-axis, and I can now give you some comparisons to the new upgrade, and maybe it can help you decide if you'd like to do something similar with your own 3018. First of all, you'll need some additional things to set up a linear rail upgrade for the X-axis on a standard 3018 or 3018 Pro CNC. I'm also assuming that you have some kind of an upgraded Z-axis for this setup. If not, you will need some extra parts fabricated. Luckily, this is an area where there's a ton of DIY sort of people sharing their creations, and you will most probably find something that can suit your setup already available at printables. And of course, if you know how to use simple 3D modeling software like Onshape or Fusion 360, you can create your own parts there. In my case, I was able to use models I found on printables, and I'll link them in the description. I printed the parts on my Elegoo Neptune 4 Pro 3D printer using 30% infill for added strength, and I used just regular PLA filament. So this is the problem with the original X-axis. As you can see, it moves and bends easily when I push it with my hand. We will be fixing that with our linear rails update. I'll also build a fully enclosed box for the electronics here to keep debris and chips out, and I'll install a set of even longer cables for some extra room. So these are the blocks for the original linear rods. They will be removed. And here we're putting in some T-nuts into the aluminum extrusions. I'm using 4 in each, and they are for the M3 screws. Here are the linear rails. So now they are on. I'm just tightening the screws here. I used every second screw hole, that's plenty strong. So the rails are not at the right height for the Z-axis, so we're using this 3D printed block to move it in the correct place. I'm using M3 by 20mm screws here. And it's just going to be screwed on top of the rail guides. The rail guides themselves come pre-installed with this plastic block instead of the rail, so the small bearings don't fall out. You can just put it against the rail and push it in. And that's on top of the rail, moves perfectly smoothly. Very nice. And here is the axis in place. You can see the 3D printed blocks in the middle there. The screws are a little bit fiddly to put on. I turned the machine sideways so they wouldn't fall. And here is everything in place, working nicely, just needs now the spindle to be reinstalled. This upgrade was very simple to do, and I highly recommend it to anyone using a heavier Z-axis. It just took several weeks longer than expected for the linear rails to get delivered to me, which is why this video took so long to get out. As you can see, the new setup is very rigid and I can't move it or bend it like before. I'm already putting together the video for the first test cuts, so be sure to check that out very soon. So that was today's video. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you next time.